All right. Okay, guys. So as you see, I'm in a bunch of arches here. This baby is pretty deep. I'm going to say we might be 50 feet on this arch. It could be 60. Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet for sure. We're going to talk arches, guys. So these are cattle panels, and this is the cheapest ones we can find at our Tractor Supply. I think you're looking at about $32 a panel, and they're about 50 inches tall if you've never used them by 16 feet wide. These things are awesome, guys. So here's what I love about this. We'll come out a little bit and you can see what we're doing. This is a new area I have just opened up. It is a mess and I've done nothing to the ground. All I have done,
I tripped.
yeah, and meanwhile, my videoer just biffed it, so give her a break, guys. She probably just twisted her ankle. So as you can see, oh, I've got my chair in those arches because that's where I'm gonna sit when it's done. We still have more panels and we're gonna go a longer distance. And what I wanna talk about is how awesome these are, guys. So I have planted most of this one over here in the whole fence line. And what I love these for is cucumbers and pumpkins. Now melons, well, yeah, you can do some melons, some little sugar baby watermelons or some smaller melons that do not slip off the vine. And let's pay attention to what I just said, because a lot of cantaloupes and watermelons, they slip off the vine. That means when it is ready and it's hanging, you're gonna find watermelon pancake on the ground. So you don't want to put anything that could slip off the vine, because now you gotta hang 45 pantyhose and stuff all over it like people have done, which is not a reality, okay? So we choose for the arches things that do not fall. There is a million different wonderful, there's gourds, beautiful birdhouse gourds. Some of these gourds are so big, you guys, you can make bowls out of them. They're beautiful. I just bought some seeds for a giant gourd. So this is something I highly suggest people to start trying. Now, do you have to buy the cattle panels? No, you do not. To be honest, you can make these a bunch of different ways. You could use used up wood. You could use old welded wire. You can do it however you want, but you want to try to get yourself an arch. And what I love about this is we've got a lot of things happening with arches. Number one, cucumbers. They can do great on the ground until something figures out they're there. Then they're not great on the ground anymore. Then you get bites out of every cucumber. And if you're like me, where you need like 100 pounds of pickles a year, then that's not gonna work. So I love Armenian cucumbers more than anything, guys. And if you've ever grown an Armenian, if you got a short fence that they're crawling, they're curling, twisting, dangling. By the way, that screaming is my pigs. Sorry, guys, I'm not hurting anyone. Those Armenian cucumbers, greatest cucumber in the world, but you need some space to grow these guys. Otherwise, they're gonna get nibbled up by the bugs or perhaps rot. So, arches, guys. Pumpkins, you guys could put a pumpkin on this. I don't think most people know. So pumpkins do not slip off the vine. It's so cool about pumpkins. And I'm talking, I mean, don't put the 100-pound pumpkins on this, okay? But I have some sweet meat squash and some things over here that get to 30 pounds that easily can climb up the arch and dangle, and it's beautiful. All spaghetti squash, butternut squash, anything climbing like that, guys, these arches are valuable. Not only that, let's think about this. How much space do you have? Do you have a lot of space? Well, I thought I did until you start using it. If you don't, you need to build some vertical arches. Get that gardening off the ground and go vertical. You change your space requirements completely. I mean, it is remarkable what can hang from these things, and I've done them in my back big garden, and I've decided I was just gonna dedicate 2 60-foot tunnels with tomatoes in between. Now, you're not using the arch? Put your tomatoes in there and on the outskirts of it. You wanna grow beans? Let me talk about pole beans, folks. I love them. You want pole beans on this. Pole beans will go crazy. They'll go up around. What about sweet pea flowers? Come on, everybody loves the butterfly sweet pea flower. Get those babies in the ground. They're gonna climb up. You will never see anything so magnificent. So I could name all day things that can be grown on these arches. And for those of you that are going, gosh, I only have a 1/4 acre, I only have a 1/2 acre, what you have is enough. All you need is an arch. It's endless what you can do, guys. And as you can see, they're a lot of fun. And my chair over here, well, I was just telling Rhea, who's videoing me, this chair is here because I told my helpers that as soon as these are filled with plants, we're gonna sit in here like we're on the train with a glass of wine and feel like we've died and went to heaven. Because there's nothing more magnificent than having that beauty just surrounding you like that. The bees can get to it easy, the pollinators can find it, you're less likely to lose the product from rot. Not only that, you've got airflow. This stuff is coming up. Who gets, oh, everybody gets fungal diseases, I'm sure, on all their squashes. I mean, we get so much downy mildew or powdery mildew. Now that California is now like Mississippi and we rain all the time, I've never seen so much powdery mildew. You will not see it like that on this. Now you've created something that's not swamping on the ground in its own wetness and that humidity and causing that sickness. Now it's got airflow. So again, arches, guys. Grow vertical. Let's try something different this year. I've told you about trash can gardening and so many other fun concepts. This is another great one. And if you're like me, if you see, so I had to separate an area from chickens, from every critter that wants to kill everything I own. I got more of them out than you can imagine. Again, this little silly shade cloth stuff for the fences is $35. This is 6 foot by 50 feet. And it's wonderful, again, guys, because it kind of what it does is if you're in a tricky area, you don't want your cats or dogs or your chickens to get in, put a little bit of that up. Guess what? My chickens, like 40 of them were in here. I couldn't even stop them. I put that stuff up. They never came back in. They were like, oh, we don't see it. We don't care. We'll go kill something else. So again, there is ways to protect what you've got by going vertical, using a little shade cloth. And, you know, let's grow some food, guys, because I don't know about you guys, but our 99-cent store is going out of business. And, you know, I'm not there shopping, but I have a lot of friends that rely on that produce, and they can't afford food very much. And we're going into some hard times, folks. This is not a joke. So get to gardening and grow some food so you don't have to watch your family fall sick to the shortages of things, and you can be full of nourishment, and then you can even maybe help your neighbor or somebody else that's short on food. So God bless everyone, and grow some arches.